Hi, this is Paul Fenn with another edition of Jeanneau Underway. Soon after Oskar and Lisa started dating, they hatched a plan to quit their jobs, buy a boat, and sail around the world. Now, on the small island of Yacht in the South Pacific, I catch up with Oskar and Lisa to find out how all this came about.
Should you go first?
Yeah, I think the whole idea came from Oskar, because I haven't sailed before. I've been on a sailboat, but not sailing actually. And we're from the west coast, both of us, of Sweden, so we are kind of used to the ocean. And so I think when he popped the idea, I really thought it was a great idea.
Like sailing the world since I was like 5 years old, when I started, sailing the small hobbyist. And the second date we were talking about like travel, and I popped the idea of sailing the world, and Lisa were up for it, so then we started planning for it.
Now that they had a plan, all they needed was a boat.
It's a Jeanneau Odyssey 45. We found it in Italy, and it was in pretty bad shape. It's been on shore for many years, for like 4 years. So there was a lot of job to take care of on the boat. So we took it home to Sweden, and we spent about 2 years of maintaining and repair stuff and equipped it before we took off from Sweden.
You were at the boat every day after work, and we spent the weekends here together.
Then, after 2 years of hard work, Hilma was finally ready to go, and so were Oskar and Lisa.
We left Sweden 6th of August in 2017.
Yeah.
And then we basically sailed the coast of Europe down to the Canary Islands and Cape Verde. Then we crossed the Atlantic, and we cruised in the Caribbean for like a half a year maybe.
Oh, for a season?
Yeah.
So that was like 4 or 5 months.
It's a beautiful morning, a bit too calm because we have some trouble with the sails, but when Oskar wakes up we're gonna put the spear gun on, and then it's gonna be better, I think.
From the Caribbean, they would sail as far north as Cuba, before turning south and sailing first to Jamaica, then to the San Blas Islands off Panama, where they would prepare Hilma for the trip through the Panama Canal to the Pacific. From Panama, they would head south to the equator, and then west to the Marquesas, where they would eventually make landfall in Hiva Oa, after a journey of 3,484 nautical miles and 29 days at sea.
We crossed the Pacific in 29 days.
Yeah, to Hilma.
Yes.
We sailed around that area for a while, then Jeanneaus Islands, down to the Society Islands, which is Tahiti, Barbara, and that islands. And then we went to Cook Islands, Niue,
Samoa.
So speed, but right now we get 1400 BPS, which is kind of good for our radio. So that's good.
Perfect.
Since leaving Sweden, things have gone pretty much perfect for Oskar and Lisa. But then, on December 10th, they experienced what can only be described as a small disaster.
You should tell the story, Lisa.
No, it was during the night, of course, because everything bad happens during the night.
Always nighttime.
Yeah, and Oskar was up here on his watch, and I was sleeping down there. But I woke up because I heard a little. It was like a little sound, like just like that. And then I asked Oskar, "Did you hear something?" And he said, "No, I didn't hear anything." And like 1 second later, he shouted, "Oh, come up here! We can steer!" And then the boat just took off and started to go in circles.
And in that moment, I thought, the chain from the quadrant was loose. So I opened the hatches and looked down, and the quadrant really it seems to be intact. There wasn't any problem with the kind of steering gear stuff.
No.
And then I took my mask on, in the back of the boat, that was kind of...
And a flashlight.
And the flashlight, out of order flashlight was kind of bumpy, rolling a little bit. Looked down on the hull, and I just saw I saw the keel, I saw the propeller, but I didn't see any rudder anymore.
Not an inch of it.
Worst case scenario, so we tried to make the emergency rudder, so we don't have too far to the closest atoll. So yeah, I think to get ashore it took us 4 days and nights, because first of all we had to figure out how to get control over the boat again, and that's fairly complicated, when there is wind and waves, and it's even though there is a lot of you can see on YouTube that people use a drogue and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to use that in real life when you get big waves.
Yeah.
So we kind of soon realized that if we want to get control over the vessel again, we have to manufacture some kind of rudder to steer with.
Light.
Yeah. We lost the rudder. We tried to do a rudder on the World of Jeanneau generator yesterday, but as it turned out, it was we dropped it in the ocean. So that took us 1 day to do so. We used a whiskey pole and some wood. And but then the weather was kind of bad, so we decided to wait another day. We just drifted, waiting for better weather. And this third day we had quite good weather, so we started motoring because we couldn't sail because we had upwind, so it was kind of hard to sail upwind with that kind of small rudder. So we ran the engine for a while, and we took us the first, I can't remember, 40 miles, something, 30?
Yeah, I think so. And then we went to bed, and then we drifted all the way back again. So we just had to start all over the next morning. Because the current was against us and kind of strong, so it was such a bad luck.
It was very long, and we have not managed to tighten it enough. One big wave made it smash against the platform, and the boom broke right off.
Not the best rudder I made.
I think the last day we managed to go 120.
I think the last day, we went 150 miles.
Yeah.
But that was in 4 days, so I'm not sure the last day. But the last day, the fourth day, we came all the way up to Majuro, which is the main atoll in Marshall. And we got some help from Coast Guard as well, so they were kind of
just next to us.
Yeah, they were close to us in case we needed any help. And in the end we needed help because the wave was building up and the wind was picking up. We had 30 knots of wind, so we couldn't really control the boat anymore. So the last few hours, 2 hours, we were towed into the atoll by the Coast Guard. We was so grateful for that.
Yeah,
they were really professional guys, did an amazing job, and if it weren't for them, we probably would end up on the reef somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah.
Once safely ashore, Oskar and Lisa took on the task of finding a new rudder. Thankfully, as luck would have it, the Jeanneau factory in France just happened to have one ready to go, which they quickly packed up and shipped to them on the island of Majuro.
We ended up having the rudder in the end of January.
Yeah.
So we were so happy, and Jeanneau really reached out to us, and we are so grateful. So we could continue our journey.
So given everything that's happened, any regrets for choosing this life, I asked?
No, I would say this is a really great way of living. It's so nice to go to places, to meet people. We were talking about the other day as well. The best memories is when you meet people in different places. You get to know like new friends everywhere, and it's just a perfect way of living.
Yeah, you can see all those places you can't go with the air, and you always have your home.
Yeah.
So it's the best way to explore the world, I think.
As my time with Oskar and Lisa was coming to an end, I asked them if they had any tips or advice for others considering taking on a trip such as theirs.
It's just a matter of leaving. If you want to do this life, it's not really complicated. It's not as complicated as you think. If you have the boat, take off. If you don't have the boat, save up the money, buy the boat. You can manage it. It's really like a great way of living.
Yeah.
And if you're afraid of the big ocean, take small steps. Take baby steps in the beginning. So just do it.
Okay, then it's movie time and hamburgers.
Well, I certainly enjoyed my time in Yap talking with Oskar and Lisa. Such an amazing couple. They are now on their way to the Philippines, where they plan to continue their journey through the South China Sea to Malaysia, Thailand, and all points west. What a great adventure. For anyone interested, you can follow their journey on their YouTube channel at Hilma Sailing. For the Jeanneau channel, this is Paul Fenn, and I'll see you next time, right here on Jeanneau Underway.